Uh-oh.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home Impodcast time.
That's right. Binford Tools is proud to present a Home Improvement Podcast. My name is Adam. You all know my co-host, Jordan. Hey, Jordan, how's your car?
Right into it. Right into Vehicle Maintenance Corner, a new segment that we'll be having.
No, we are rebranding as a Vehicle Maintenance Podcast.
Yeah, we didn't tell anybody, though, did we?
No.
It's just kind of like a surprise.
We actually just told each other, in fact.
Yeah, thinking about things to talk about, and it just seemed, it was like synergistic, you know?
Vehicle Matecast, Podicle Maintenance Cast. The title will come.
The usual titles that you like to come up with.
The title will come with time, but we are rebranding. Nothing good is coming of this podcast, so we've decided to go into something we know even less about, and that's vehicle maintenance. So
yeah, we decided let's not make it to episode 100. Let's just start over.
Let's start at 96.
Yeah.
Jordan, you had mentioned to me prior to recording, very briefly,
very brief,
and I've taken it and ran with it. Running, much like a car would run.
Same thing.
That you got new tires for your car, and I just want to
Not yet.
Oh, you have to. Ooh.
Yeah.
The plot thickens. Tell me a little bit about what that is going to be like for you. This will take 3 or 4 minutes in total. So
it should.
These are shorter episodes as well. We're not going to be, the usual 45 to an hour.
Yeah, we want to be in and out.
Yeah.
We found that people weren't listening to the whole episode, so let's do it with car talk.
Yep.
It's been quite 3 or 4 years. The tires have worn down on one of our vehicles. There's a local discount tire that I used last time. They've been real good to me.
Who's your guy there? You got a guy?
No, I don't have a guy there,
okay.
But I have a relative who works at that chain, so... he hooked us up last time with some nice tires, and I'm going to go back to the same place. They treated me real well.
Okay, yeah.
And
little friend and family discount, huh?
If you're near Osceola Parkway, you should go to this discount tire.
Every so often, I do find myself in that general area. So yeah, next time I am.
Did you ever hear of the penny test for tires?
No, tell me a little bit about that. See, these are the kind of nuggets you're getting on Vehicle Matecast.
Yeah, well, I guess you put a penny or a dime. I'm not sure what.
well, I'm glad you brought it up.
Maybe it's a $50, but you
sack of Jawea underneath the tire.
You put it into the little grooves, and if a certain portion of Honest Abe or whatever piece of currency you're supposed to be using is showing, that's how you know you need some new tires.
Okay,
the tread, the wear on the tread.
This is a juicy nugget. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, just Google to confirm which coinage you should be using.
Whatever. I'm thinking any coin will really work, but I got I got a Buffalo nickel I've been dying to get out.
Dying to make use of.
Make use of.
You
can't spend it.
No, I mean, you have that coin collection, so you got to use it one way or another.
Yeah.
I've been told a few times that I need to replace these tires, and I've been putting it off, and
now that you have a child, everything's a little bit more precious.
Well, and, everything is just, I have so much more money to spend.
So. You were bragging to me pretty recently about how much money you make with your job. And you gave me a figure and my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe that you made that much money.
Imagine Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, that scene where he dives.
Yeah, I don't understand the reference, but I'll
some
try.
people might.
Okay.
But, he dives into a pile of just gold coins, and that's kind of what it's like in my living room currently.
You are the living incarnation of Mr. Pennybags. From
Uncle Pennybags.
Well, I know you better, so I call you Mister. Okay,
nice.
Jordan, I have a little vehicle.
You have
maintenance.
A small vehicle.
A little. Well, it's not real big.
Okay.
So my Chevy Cruze, all you cruise heads out there, let me hear you.
Honk.
Honk. I know you're honking. Had to go in. There was a recall a few weeks back. I got a letter in the mail. And it said,
isn't that the way?
I know. I said, recall. I barely know her. And I took it in, and I'll be darned if they didn't fix the problem, and my car is safe again. I don't know the specifics because I never really looked into it, but...
You just saw a recall and they took care of it.
And I saw free, and I saw or perhaps thought about the imminent danger, and I said to myself, okay, let's get this fixed really quick.
Well, you're kind of to that point in your life now where you're such a big shot. I mean, we're on episode 96
you
here.
Talk about
that you don't think about details. No. You just like, oh, get it done.
You know, a lot of people say the devil's in the details, and I believe that so firmly that it's tattooed on my bicep.
You stay away.
Yeah, you talk about how much money you make. I mean, double that, and that's where I'm at right now. So,
why did your jaw drop when I told you?
I just started making all this money that it's still kind of. I still sometimes forget, but. Okay, so we're going to wind down Vehicle Matecast.
Join us next week.
Yeah, join us next week. This has been really fun. Rate and review, subscribe on iTunes, tell your friends about us. No. Jordan, we got to talk about home improvement. That was just an elaborate ruse to try something new.
I hope we didn't turn people off.
I bet we did.
Oh, well, we tried. Well, when there's nothing to talk about, when you've got a special type of an episode as we're going to have for the next couple, you got to come up with something fun to talk about, and that was fun, so I'm glad we did it.
Fun is the word I would use, yeah.
Yeah, episode 96 here. This is Tool Time After Dark, and it is a special episode because it is, well, the next two episodes, because they are clip-based. So it'll be a little bit more unique than our normal recaps, where we just talk through every scene. But we're gonna try to frame it in a similar way. There's gonna be a flow and a structure that's gonna be good for everybody, really.
Yeah, everybody loves a clip episode, so this is really exciting.
Yeah, especially when I have to watch it twice, and then when I find out that we have different clips.
Yeah, it's been trying time, kind of planning this one out, but yeah, watching the clips a second time was tough because it was really like watching them a fourth time. If you really want to think about it.
And you really don't.
I don't. I try not to. But yeah, Jordan, it's a clip episode. The next two are going to be, so it's going to be a little bit different. But, my favorite French philosopher once said, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So keep that in mind as we work our way through. Carry on, Jordan.
Yeah, so this one, written by Elliot Schoenman and Marley Sims. I think we should just go by first names from now on.
Yeah,
because we know them at this point.
Agreed. Yep. Also, I think it's because you can't say Schoenman effectively.
That's ulterior motive. But Elliot and Marley last did The Naked Truth.
Yeah, I like that one.
You loved it. You love getting naked, and you love the truth.
It was raunchy, yeah.
Raunchy. This one aired April 11th, 1995. I came up with some last-minute alternative titles.
Yeah, you said yours were particularly good this week.
I did not say that. You gave me 3 minutes to come up with them. Very kind, very gracious. Yeah. And we'll see if that reflects how they are. And if they're good, I guess that's what I'm going to have to do every week.
Yeah, it could be something new. So the episode title is Tool Time After Dark. How many do you have, did you say?
I came up with 4.
Wow. Well, that's more than you
more
come up
than
with
usual.
Usual. Couple
I
of
had
days.
5, but I erased one, so.
All right.
It was one of those things where you just get everything on paper, and then you edit later.
I'm going to start with this one. Polish Pains in the PM.
Lovely.
But the more I think about it, it's actually the AM. Oh, well.
But we don't think about those things. My first one's not even really, I don't know. It's just binge watching.
Binge watching. Okay. Yeah.
They're also binge eating, kind of.
Okay, yeah. A little retcon, that works. Okay. This one is, I was going to say high concept, but it's not really. It's just bad. Everybody work from home this week.
Ah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody took the week off because it's a clip show. They did. Just the editors were there.
They took 2 weeks off.
I had more time to cope with these than you, and you can see that they're on a lot better. Yeah.
How about the Klipski episode?
That's pretty good. Here's one similar. Nostalgia and Kielbasa.
That's my favorite one so far. It's been a gas.
See, that's good. All right, my last one. Pepsid HI.
I've got one here. How about I've got a Timmy ache.
I mean, I think you brought it. You put your best foot forward.
We'll do that. We'll do it under 3 minutes next time and see what we get. But this synopsis that we have, I don't know what I was talking about. But this synopsis, written by Jeremy, which I don't think my brother did. Your
brother?
I don't think so. Based on the other things that Jeremy has left reviews for, I just don't think it's him. But I'll read the synopsis.
Does your brother, Jeremy, know that you do a home improvement podcast?
I think he's our number 4 fan.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
No, every time I talk to my brothers about this, I feel like they say, "Yeah, I was gonna listen, but it's just so long."
I mean, your other brothers would say that. Jeremy, I can't even envision really acknowledging that this is a thing. I just
he wouldn't respond.
You know what he's doing right now? He's rollerblading somewhere, and he's smiling from ear to ear. So
he's is he rollerblading and bringing some cake batter?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man.
All right, so plot synopsis. After eating Polish food, Tim's stomach is bothering him, so he stays up all night watching old Tool Time episodes. Yeah. You want to know some other things or synopsises Jeremy has written? Yeah. Afro Samurai.
Okay, not familiar.
An Introduction to Scientology?
Oh, gosh. Okay. I mean, you don't review that unless you're a Scientologist.
The 1986, I guess, documentary.
Oh, it's not even the famous HBO one that everybody likes?
No, this is an interview with L. Ron Hubbard, the founder.
Going right to the horse's mouth. Nay.
That's right. Checking everyone's thetan levels. And the last one is Cash Cab. Was that what you were expecting?
No. But I've learned.
It's kind of
I've learned with Jeremy to expect the unexpected. In fact,
kind of you wonder if he just picked like a random URL and then wrote a review for
Cash
it.
Cab. What would you even say about an episode of Cash Cab? Like, what is there to say?
This time, George uses the call out.
I don't know. I've hardly ever watched it, but like, what would you review? Are there better episodes than other ones? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Maybe it was the whole series.
Hey, Jordan, Cash Cast?
Ooh, now we're talking.
Not as good as Vehicle Mate Cast. Okay, Jordan. Well, we should. I guess we
have to.
We have to talk about the episode. Do you want to just sort of walk through the plot and then go back and tell people what we're going to do? Should that be what we do?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
As cryptic as possible.
Yeah, let's keep them guessing. So let's open. Mm-hmm. Tim got some Polish food for the family for dinner. He went to Hamtramck Stands.
Hamtramck, in fact.
Hamtramck.
It's an actual city
Ever been?
outside of Detroit. It does have a sizable Polish population in real life. I have not knowingly been there. I may have driven through it, but I've heard people talk about it before. Definitely.
I think I've heard of it too as well, but I did not write it down properly, so that's what happens. Randy loves Polish food. I don't know if you caught that.
I did. Yeah.
He's the only one besides Tim who is excited about it, so I guess that's like 3 things that Randy and his dad have in common. Jill wanted pizza. I mean, we talked a little bit about our lack of Polish culture knowledge. Yeah. Are you a big fan of Polish food? Do you eat any Polish? Pierogi? Are you a pierogi guy?
Before I address that, I do want to say that he says he got it from Hamtramck Stands, and I looked it up, and there was apparently a Stands grocery in Hamtramck that has since shut down.
That's close enough.
Wondering if they modeled it after that. I kind of assume that they would. Otherwise, it's a pretty big coincidence.
It's pretty sad when you look up a place and it just says permanently closed.
Yeah, it was a bummer. Yeah, and that was exactly what it said.
5-star reviews before it closed.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah, Jordan, in terms of Polish food, I have had a fair amount of pierogi, however you want to pronounce it. My Aunt Joyce, who sadly recently passed away, she made them fairly often, and they were always very tasty. Polish sausage is something that I've encountered a few times in my childhood.
You make it sound like it was a chance meeting between you and a stranger.
Polish sausage bumped up against me, and we went to fisticuffs. And then the glumki, I looked it up, and it's stuffed cabbage rolls, and I've certainly had those again from my Aunt Joyce. So I guess I've had a few things, but not too many.
Just a couple of small encounters. The only thing I can think of besides that would be like punchkis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Those little donuts.
I just remember people in high school would bring those in, and what is that, like a Fat Tuesday thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's nice and delicious. So
I do feel like in Michigan, where we grew up, maybe Polish culture or Polish food is sort of prevalent because I can't speak to your experience in Florida, but in Illinois, I don't encounter these things very, very often.
No, definitely not in Florida.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess maybe in Michigan there is. Last time that the Taylor family had such food, Tim had a really tough time with it. He was up half the night, a lot of gas, and he wants some more. But Tim particularly calls out the duck butt soup, which doesn't sound very good to me. Mm-hmm. And then Brad makes a weird joke saying, "I'm good, I've had chicken stomach something."
I think you said chicken.
I don't remember that part. Sorry. We talked about how we have different clips, so maybe that's part of the differences there. So, and that's the opening scene. Yeah. I guess it's a better cold open than some of the other ones we've seen.
It's not bad. It's very different. But you know what, Jordan? This is a different episode, and I think we should drive that point home more.
Is it different or not?
Next clip, or next scene, rather. Tim, he's resting in his bedroom, and he has bad indigestion. He's moaning.
I'd say he's restless in his bedroom.
Restless is a word you could use as well. He's moaning, he's groaning, he can't sleep. It's 3:03 in the morning. And I think, he asked Jill if she'll go down and get him something for his stomach, and she's like, no, why would I do that? Which is, why would...
kind of mean.
Why would... Well, get up, get it yourself,
I know. He's just, rolling around in the bed,
I guess he is supposed to be in major pain, and I'm not talking about the Damon Wayans Sr. movie.
I love that movie.
That's a good one. So Tim goes downstairs. Next scene, he's got some kind of a medicine, and he's drinking it with kind of a long straw, which is a joke.
It's a crazy straw.
It's crazy, and
the crowd really likes it.
The audience goes crazy. He starts scanning the channels, and, this is true. If you can't sleep and you want to watch TV, I don't have cable anymore, haven't had it in a couple of years, I'm a cord cutter. But if you want to watch cable in the middle of the night, there is not a lot on. And first, Tim finds something on a vasectomy. They say something like the first cut is the most important.
Just as we're getting started in that thing.
Or the first cut is the deepest as well. Then some kind of a Spanish soap opera.
I would have maybe left it on that for a little bit.
I doubt Tim speaks Spanish.
He's got to learn somehow.
Tim and Ron Burgundy. Go ahead.
I was pretty concerned that Tim was going to OD on this antacid stuff.
I hadn't thought about that.
Because, even when you take a Tums, there's a limit to how many you can take in 24 hours. But he was just drinking. He was going for it, man.
Jordan, that sounds like a challenge.
Not a challenge I want anyone to take, nor you or our listeners.
Fair enough. Tim finally decides that, and I've never really realized this, but he has a lot of Tool Time tapes just sort of scattered around the TV, and they are apparently only the best clips. I don't know.
The best clips.
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe we're gonna do this when we're done with the show. We're just gonna sit around and put on old episodes of Home Impodcast.
If we did a best of, it would just be our interviews. I think. I don't know that we've ever done anything worthy of a best of.
Well, we've got an outtake episode coming out sometime soon. So
yeah, whenever we can't record a new one. So he puts in the tape, and it starts to play. And then we get a lot of scattered clips. And these clips continue on for a couple of minutes, Jordan. And then eventually, Tim is lying on the couch, and Jill joins him. And
then that's when it becomes Tool Time after dark.
It really does, yeah. You can guess where this is going. No, it's not going there. And, they have a little bit of a back and forth, as I said. I didn't write down any of their dialogue, but Tim does...
It's a lot more of those, Polish jokes. Yeah. Jill says she's going to file for divorce-ski.
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
That's a good one, right?
Written that down. And I noticed that their house is particularly well lit for the middle of the night. I think Tim has...
how are you going to sleep like that?
He has every light on that he possibly could, which would make it hard. But she settles in and watches the rest of the clips with him. The clips continue for quite some time, and then there's a graphic of a brick wall that's cartoonish, and the credits roll, and then we fade to black. So that's the episode.
That is, there's 2 of these episodes, so that is end of part 1. Mm-hmm. They kind of leave you on a cliffhanger, what's going to happen? Will they get sleep? Will they continue to watch episodes?
Yeah, I was surprised that they didn't kind of bookend it at the end with Tim and Jill coming back, but you said that on your DVD they combine it into one long episode?
They do, okay. And it's more like a 45-minute long episode, basically.
It's different. Yeah, so... highs and lows? I'm just kidding. So what we're going to do is we have, mine's different than yours, so you had to do some altering in terms of your clips, but we've got the same...
You always make me do all the extra work.
I know. You said... We were really confused. You told me there was 26 clips in your episode, and I was very certain there weren't. And I tried to be as...
You're I'm not that bad at
counting. I tried to be as respectful as possible, but I thought, he's just not right.
He sent me the middle finger emoji.
Yeah, I was kind of PO'd. But we have 14 clips here in the first one. My Hulu cut, I guess, is different than yours. And what we're going to do is, or what we did do, rather, is we ranked them from 14 to 1. And I will be going through my list, and Jordan, upon hearing where I placed certain clips. You will tell me where you had them, and then we'll kind of have a brief discussion on them. We've talked about these clips before, ad nauseum, some of them, so we're not probably going to say a lot about each one, but we're just going to kind of riff a little bit. How's that sound?
It sounds good, and what's going to really tie all this together is you have a really great tiered system that's really going to just like group these things together so we can really think about them in the proper light, because it's not just 14 to 1. I think there's just levels of just... Yeah,
much like Kramer on Seinfeld, I want to have my furniture in levels. So clips 14 through 10, that is the I Don't Think So Tim tier, Jordan.
That's where you don't want to be.
You don't want to be there. Those are the worst of the worst. 9 through 5, or 5 through 9, these are the tepid tailors. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
Just right. Goldilocks would like that.
And then 4 through 1, Binford's best. These are the head of the class, Jordan. Valedictorian. Full ride scholarship to Home Improvement U.
Home Improvement U. Yeah. That sounds like a terrible school.
That's where we both went there, yeah. So yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Some clips are long, some clips are short, some are funny, some are not.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we ranked these, because do you rank them based on the clip that was in front of you, or like the whole clip that happened in the original episode? I basically did just what was in front of me.
I did too, so that's good.
Good. I'm glad we judged on the same priorities here. So I guess you can lead off with your number 14, the worst of the worst.
Jordan, number 14, and we didn't come up with very concise names, so I'm just going to kind of read what I wrote down. But I have the dry ice on the forklift clip.
Oh, I have that all the way up in the tepid area at number 7.
Okay, all right. So I'll talk about it first. I don't like it, obviously. I remember the first time just kind of thinking it was stupid, you know? Tim runs back, and we hear him start up some machinery, and I think, oh, this is going to be kind of exciting. He's going to, like, break some stuff. It's going to be cool. But he just kind of comes in with some dry ice on the... What would you call that? Is that like a caterpillar sort of thing?
Yeah, it's like a small caterpillar. That's right.
Yeah, small caterpillar. Comes in...
He does not turn into a butterfly.
I wish it would have. It would have been number 1. He very quickly loses control... there aren't any really good lines or anything, and it just kind of comes out with a whimper. Nothing really cool happened. He just sort of comes in and loses control. It's also a little bit longer than I need it to be.
Yeah, you know, what's interesting about that is you like that scene enough to put it in the start of your Reboot script.
Is that the one I used?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
That's funny. So you didn't like it here, but I guess you liked it enough there, or it was just the timing of when you started writing that thing. But yeah, I guess I mean, it's not one of my favorites, but it's
where did you say it was for you, sorry?
Number 7.
Okay. So exact
middle. Hanging out in the middle area. You know, I liked Tim driving around that thing, and my favorite part of the scene, I guess, is like the crowd running away. Like, not only does like the people, like the producers and the cameramen run away, I'm pretty sure there's people in the audience that run away. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's not particularly anything super funny. No. It's kind of the same thing that we get where, you know, Tim's going to do something where he likes more power and now wants to do it the simple and probably correct way.
And I also felt like it was sort of like, you know, it had a lot of build-up. Like, you know, you hear the motor going, you hear the engine going, and just sort of, you know, just not a lot of satisfaction there for me.
You can't get no.
Indeed. Coming in at number 13, Jordan, I have Tim and Al fencing.
Wow. Mine's at number 5.
Wow.
Or, yeah, number 5 for that one.
This is, wow, Jordan. This may be the episode that breaks us apart. Why don't I like this? I remember really hating it when I saw it the first time. I just think Tim is so stupid. What is he using? Is it like a meter stick?
It's a dowel.
Okay, a dowel. So he's just, the whole clip is just him kind of, you know, fake swinging in the air, making dumb noises, and he does it for a really long time, and he just looks like such a buffoon. And then, you know, they do the fight, and I just really don't like. I just think Tim comes off as I mean, he's dumb generally, but he comes off as being just very obnoxious and sort of stupid.
I will agree with all of your points.
Okay.
Which is funny that I rank it so much higher. Yeah. But, you know, I do like Al's kind of reaction. You know, he's surprisingly is a great fencer. He's got the whole form down, and he knows what he's doing, and he slaps the dowel out of Tim's hands and kind of puts it at his neck, which I like. I did. You know what? I really just the clips in general during this whole watching. Tool time is really just kind of like a goof off session.
Yeah, well, you can answer this, but are these all Tool time clips in both of the episodes?
Yes.
See, that's disappointing because I would just rather watch a best of the show. That would be a lot funnier.
Well, that's not how they do it here because I mean, why would he have those recorded on his?
Because Wilson's been recording them secretly through the fence the whole time.
In part 2, Wilson does make an appearance.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to. All right, Jordan, number 12 for me is the magnet struggle on the set.
Magnet struggle. All right. I've got that at number 6.
Man, we are quite a bit apart here.
I can't wait to hear what's making some of your top 5.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty different than yours. Although I think our top ones will be similar.
Probably.
I mean, this is kind of, to me, like the Caterpillar one. It's just
it's the same.
It's very much the same thing. Like, they're talking about magnets. The only funny thing is Al says that, if you drop tools behind your tool bench, perhaps the result of a careless coworker. That's kind of funny. But
like that.
Tim picks up this souped up magnet or whatever, and it's just like, I don't know. I just don't. Some of the pratfalls work for me, some of them don't. But this ends with, eventually I think the camera they're using comes down to the magnet and his face is sucked up to the screen. I just thought it was so stupid. It just does not work for me. I don't know. I need a little bit more out of these pratfalls, a little bit of humanity.
And it kept building and building. I thought you would like that. It kept building and building.
Because it ended with his face up against the fake camera, and then they use a graphic that is his breath, and
I like when it gets the boom mic.
Yeah.
Well, that was my favorite part.
Talk to me about it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, 5, 6, and 7 are the fencing, the magnet, and the Tim with the dry ice, which are basically the same scene. So it makes sense that I have them all in that order or right around the same area.
What does it say about you that you think these are mediocre and I think they're bad?
I just like good old-fashioned goofs.
Amen.
And you don't. So I guess that's what it says. I'll be interested to hear what makes higher on some of your list here.
Do you have anything else to say about the magnets?
No, I mean, it's very similar to the other ones. I did like that joke that Al makes to kind of start the scene off, and I don't mind it building and building and building. It's not as good as the fencing to me, but it's slightly better than the dry ice one because there's just a couple more jokes.
I have always had an innate interest in fences and fencing, which almost bumped the fencing one up a little bit.
Yeah, but not quite.
I'm just judging on the clips.
I thought you liked magnets.
Yeah, half the time. Don't ask me what that means. Number 11, Jordan, for me, is Tim sands the table, but the sander goes off the other.
So I've got that at 12, so we're right about the same spot here.
I mean, it's just a very slight clip,
Yeah,
there isn't a lot to it.
Seconds.
He plugs it in. He's not holding onto the sander, and it flies off the end of the table. There's no real pain. There's no real injury. There's no major destruction. In fact, the sander's probably okay. It just flies off the table. I mean, it's not bad. It's just nothing really happens.
I mean, you couldn't bump it up higher. There wasn't enough to it.
It's probably the shortest one in the clip library.
Probably
as well.
6 seconds or something like that. I thought at this point when they did something quick like that,
there was going to be 40.
I thought there was just going to be all the different times that Tim screwed up on tool time, but they didn't. So it's kind of strange that they included it there.
It would have been crazy if we had to rank 50 of these.
We would have not done that. I guess we just
wouldn't have done it. Yeah.
No, 26 is enough by the time we get to the end of this. But luckily we're breaking it in 2 episodes so that people can enjoy it 2 times.
Yeah, definitely. Jordan, number 10 for me is Tim hits Bob Vila with a block of wood or with a piece of wood. Where's that for you?
That's 13 for me.
Okay, so one of your least favorites. Do you want to talk about why you maybe really didn't like it? That's probably going to be more interesting than...
we talk about this before. We don't necessarily love a lot of the Bob Vila stuff, and we think it's quite overrated. I did like this, a little bit of a spoiler for my list ranking. I did like this better than the other Bob Vila clip that we'll talk about later, but... I thought it was just a little bit funnier because he, smacked Bob Vila in the head. Right. That is just more interesting than him driving a lawnmower.
We're not especially big Vila fans, so yeah. I mean, I do like watching him, take on physical pain, whether it be real or fake. But it's just...
I thought that was his best acting, was him getting knocked out.
It's so bad. I mean, his face changes long before the wood hits him. Like, he takes on this look of grave concern, like, I would say a solid 2 seconds before he's hit by the block of wood. So Vila has no comedic timing. It's fine. Like, it was stupid when... I know that everybody loves these Vila episodes, except for us, apparently. But yeah, this is... I probably some people view this as like a big home improvement moment, but for me, it's just kind of stupid. Like, you know it's coming. Vila can't act. Yeah, it's funny when he falls, but, you know, it's not like he stayed down. He did get back up.
He did, because he comes back for the great race. So,
all right, Jordan. My number 9 is Tim rubbing sticks together. Eventually, his sleeve lights on fire.
Tim on fire. Yeah. That's number 4 for me.
Whoa.
It actually makes it into the Binford's best.
All right. Well, you better talk about this.
Well, you know what's funny is it comes a lot later in my version.
Yeah.
So maybe just the one time that I watched it, I bumped it up a little bit. But I do like that, you know, it's one of those pratfalls where Tim screws something up. It's a shorter clip in general, but I like that Tim's reaction is kind of like a PSA reaction where he's like, and that's why you don't do this. And it's just a little bit different of a reaction that we usually get from Tim. Made me chuckle. I think it's more interesting than a lot of the other pratfalls that he does on the show.
The only thing I really thought was noteworthy about this is I do like, just in terms of a practical effect, is how long they leave his sleeve on fire, I guess is kind of impressive, but yeah, otherwise it doesn't do a lot for me.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how obvious it is where his sleeve is like bulked up from one scene to the next.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it's I mean,
Jordan, it was the 90s.
Yeah.
It's not like Independence Day or Titanic came out
Jurassic Park or something.
Yeah, Jurassic Park had probably already come out. Yeah. All right. For me, number 8, Jordan, the potato light bulb remover. Removal.
Yeah. I titled this Al's Potato Tips.
Okay, yeah.
And that's at number 11 for me.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. I
love potatoes. That's probably the first thing that's going for you.
Potato chips, carbs in general. No, I mean, I guess I like this one or thought it was mediocre because it's at least an interesting tip, kind of. And I remember we talked about that on the show. Neither of us knew that this was a thing. I don't know that I'll ever find myself in the position where I do this, but I do appreciate learning things from the show. And it only happens sort of sporadically, but it's, you know, Tim getting shocked is kind of dumb and something we've seen before.
Yeah, I don't know why he rushed so quickly to, you know, put the potato in. I did like the line that's like, "Don't mock the potato" or something like that. Yeah. So that was a good for me. I also did like Tim's acting as he's leaving the stage. He's like jolted and staggering.
He says like Buford Tools or something.
yeah. So it wasn't terrible. Yeah. You know, number 11 for me, Al's Potato Tips.
All right. Coming in at 7, number 7 for me is the Bob Vila race. Tim has the helmet camera, and you know, they race in the lawnmowers. And you had this one pretty low, I'm suspecting.
This is my last one.
Okay,
this is number 14 for me. It's just boring. Like, there's like this fake competition going on here. It's a very long clip, but you know that kind of serves the idea that everyone loves the Bob Vila clips. But I don't think it's interesting. And the stunt double is so blatant in it that it really turns me off. Yeah. So yeah, it's not even funny because Bob Vila doesn't get hurt. So
you know, I wouldn't say this clip turns me on or off. It's very middle. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is way too long, especially watching it, you know, twice again. It's like, gosh, will this end? There's 2 things I like about it that are probably unintentional. So they do like some CGI flames coming out of the exhaust pipe pretty early on in the scene.
All right.
That's funny. And then there's a lot of like reaction shots, or they cut to reaction shots of a crowd that just looks so confused by what's happening. Like there's a guy with like his hands on his head, just like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? And I mean, I don't know. At the end, Tim's like running through signs and stuff. I guess I appreciate they at least committed to it, even though they committed for probably longer than they needed to. I don't know. This was one that, like, I remember when we first watched it, I sort of thought was really stupid, that maybe aged a little bit better in my book for the unintentional comedy. So.
Well, that's good. You know, you got to look for that kind of stuff in these kind of scenes because otherwise you end up with them in the very bottom. So I'm glad you like that one. So, what's your next one?
Jordan started from the bottom. Now we're here at 6. And
now we're firmly into the tepid
Yeah,
Taylor's,
we haven't been talking
right?
enough about the tiers. Yeah, this is tepid Taylor's for me. Nearing Binford's best. So number 6 for me is Tim, Tool Time on Location, falling through the roof. And I'll tell you why I like this. One, I like it because we get kind of an we're looking over the shoulder of Polly, of the Polly want a lawyer joke.
Yeah, that really brings back memories.
I almost called her Polly. So I love that, obviously. That's pretty iconic for us. And I do like I don't know that it's Tim falling through, but
it's definitely not.
All right, well, I like the effect of the guy falling through the roof. It's kind of impressive, and you know it's coming, and I don't know. I think maybe it's just nostalgia for the fun we had of the Polly want a lawyer joke. But to me, this is a tepid Taylor.
Yeah, I've got it. It's the very last one in, what's the bottom tier?
Well, are we doing bottom as in like 1 through...
The worst.
Okay.
Worst tier.
That's the I don't think so, Tim. Tier.
Oh, it's my number 10, so it's just at the very top, almost into the tepid Taylors for me. I didn't think enough about the Polly want a cracker joke. Yeah. I think that might have pushed it a little bit higher for me.
Jordan, it's actually Polly want a lawyer.
Oh, Polly.
Sorry.
Polly want a cracker.
I don't mean I don't want to mansplain to you, but...
Please. Yeah, I think Polly want a cracker is just the obvious joke that everyone makes. But, yeah, you can definitely tell it's a stunt double.
See, I couldn't, but maybe I was watching.
They do this
I didn't watch it on my phone on the way home from work, so probably not an optimal viewing experience.
They do this weird thing where they like zoom into the TV that they're watching, and when they zoom back, it's somebody else up there. So that's really how you can tell. But for me, I think the thing that only kept it down here was that it was a pretty short clip for me. So it's kind of like the Sander. Like there wasn't enough time to really even deal with it. But
sure. All right.
What's next on your list? We're getting close to the Binford's best.
Yeah, we are. All right, Jordan. I'm at number 5. We're moving through these, but hey, we're doing the best we can.
What else are we gonna do?
You
want to stall more?
I mean, do you have anything you want to talk about? We're kind of at the halfway point. Any big observations that have come to mind?
Halftime jokes? Yeah, I mean, like you said, it would have been interesting to have an episode where they did just top moments of the show. Yeah. You'd get some more of like
traditionally what clip episodes do,
right?
Like the Seinfeld, the highlights of 100. Does Friends do a clip episode?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Yeah. I mean, you would have gotten more of the Halloween stuff. We would have gotten maybe some of McGurn action. Maybe, who knows?
McGurns eat garbage.
Yeah, that would have been great. But I mean, I don't have any other real great observations besides the fact that I'm just looking forward to the top 5. It seems like my top 3 is still all there, so we might have some overlap.
We will also overlap. Jordan, why do you think they, what do you think drew them to, they have this kind of framing device where Tim has an upset stomach, and they obviously went to some effort to kind of frame it around this and put in the Tool Time tapes and stuff. Why not just show clips of previous episodes, and, you could have Tool Time as well as, actual clips? What do you think possessed them to do this? You think they were just kind of trying to be clever, or what?
Yeah, I think the novelty of it, I guess.
Okay. I guess it definitely works as a framing device. I
didn't expect it. Right. It was a pleasant surprise for me because when you told me it was a clip episode, I thought it was just going to be straight clips.
Right.
This could have been something we asked Carmen when we interviewed him, but we didn't. I think he talked about how there's 3 shows in one, and they wanted to focus on the one show, which is the Tool Time. But what's lacking in all these clips is there's no kids.
There's no kids on Tool Time.
Yeah, and it's a family show, so in that way it doesn't ring completely true for me. I also thought it was interesting that this isn't episode 100. They do it at episode 96.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So I'm not sure what brings that about.
Episode 100 must have something pretty special in store. Actually, I think it's just the regular one.
they blew it all on these 2 episodes.
All right, blowing the whistle. Halftime's over. We're back to it. Jordan, number 5 for me, Tim gluing his head to the table. If I recall, you really liked this before.
I like it so much that it's in top 3. It's number 3 for me.
Okay, you know what? I'll say one thing. I think I was too hard on this during the initial podcast run. I remember kind of maybe accusing you of being lowbrow, but I've really come around on this one, and I think especially in the context of the clips we're given. But, there's some build-up. It's coming, and then, smack, glues his head to the table, and it's some good physical acting. So talk to me about what you liked about it.
Well, I think there's more than just the glue here. Okay. Because this is also the
You mean there's some depth to the scene.
There's so much depth.
Yeah.
I think you need to think in layers.
Like
just
most
as you've been doing.
Tool Time and Home Improvement episodes, there's a lot of metaphors.
Well, it's not just a show about home improvement. It's about male improvement.
It's about metaphor improvement.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is part of the scene where it's Tim and Al, and they're arguing on Tool Time. Yeah. Which I think is kind of funny. They kind of nag each other, and then Al ends up having just like to go sweep. So there's a couple of jokes. Obviously, you know me. I like the slapstick stuff a little bit more than you do, and if you think about the context of this, I think it was the superstition episode. So that's why Tim is so adamant that nothing bad's going to happen, and there's like that power of positive thinking sort of stuff going on in that context. So if you put that all together, I think it's pretty funny. And as you said, like Tim does that like jerking motion trying to get off the table, and it all just works pretty well for me, putting it in the top 3. So
yeah, I think if Tim wouldn't have done that jerking motion,
it's not nearly as good.
1 or 2, but something about that just didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, and Al is also just watching Tim struggle with like a grin on his face. Yeah, so that's good too.
Yeah, Jordan, do you have all of your top 3 intact?
Well, you just took out of one of my top 3.
That was your third.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be aligned here. So we are here. Number 4, Binford's Best. So this, best of the best, Jordan. These are the best clips of the first 96 episodes, or at least the best Tool Time clips. Mm-hmm. I'm just juiced to hear what you have to say about this.
I had to stand up.
Yeah.
I can't sit down anymore.
Well, you'll probably have edited this out, but Jordan, I had to get up and turn the air conditioning on because I was sweating, and I'm sweating because I got nerves.
That just the type of funny moments like that. Those are the stuff that ends up on Patreon.
Yeah, and if you want to subscribe to our Patreon, Jordan, how do people get there? Where is it at?
Patreon.com/Home Impodcast. Support us for as little as $1 a month.
That was probably the most organic, request for money we've ever done. Yeah. All right, Jordan, number 4. Probably want to go in and post and insert some dramatic sound.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Number 4 for me, Jordan, is karate. The karate board. Al is able to effectively break it with his head. Tim is not. I like this episode a lot, if I recall, and I think maybe that colored my my viewing. But yeah, I mean, you have this guy, this karate master, and he's out there and he's doing kind of cool displays. And I think maybe I'm just kind of innately interested in karate. I don't know. That's something I might need to explore in my own time because I don't know. I was kind of excited watching these guys do this, but yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's the classic like Al can do something Tim cannot, but Al does it, and I mean, I'm certain that it's fake. Tim does it, and he hits his head and is concussed, and so on and so forth. I do like it when Tim repeatedly says, "Hey, my show, okay?" Like he says it to the karate master. They say it to Al, and it's just
he's very testy.
Yeah, it's very funny. So where'd you have this one?
Yeah, I mean this one's at 9 for me, so it's kind of back in the tepid Taylors. Sorry,
what's wrong with you?
I'm not as interested in karate as I am.
So you're not innately interested in karate. You don't need to.
I'm more of a Tai Chi type of guy.
Okay, yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. But Tim gets a concussion. Al is the karate master. As you said, it's a good old competition between them two. It's not bad. Like it's not in my bottom, 4 or 5, whatever we did for the tiers here. The I don't think so Tims. But it's kind of. There's not a lot to it besides Tim getting a little testy and Al succeeding. So it was fine. It was fine.
Agree to disagree. Do you think we used Crouching Tiger, Hidden Tailor as an alternative title?
I'm 100% sure we did.
All right. Well, good. Making sure, because we should have.
Because now's the time.
Let's go back and edit it if we didn't do it. I think we should go back and re-record all of our episodes.
Well, we definitely need to do the first couple.
We should do the pilot over again. I think about that every day.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Definitely going to be some crossover here. This is the first time we meet the K&B Construction Boys, and we have Rock, and he's making a very special grilled cheese.
He is. Yeah, this is my number 2 clip here. So let's.
Yeah,
do you want me to start off?
Do it.
This is. I think if I recall, this is the first time we get the K&B boys, and it's been a long time since we've seen them again. Just thinking about it, but you get 3 unique personalities here. You've got Pete, Rock, Dwayne, and we all know and like them so much. You also get the Timbo hat, which I think is an underrated character in this scene.
I mean, like Sex and the City, New York is the 5th girl. The Timbo hat is the.
This is what you mention every time we talk about.
Is the 6th tailor, in fact.
Also, another underrated hat in this part is Al has a chef hat on.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, these guys are good. We like them almost every time they come on, although they do go to the well quite a bit early on in the first couple seasons. But it's an enjoyable scene. I think there's a break in the actual episode. It's so enjoyable that Tim breaks.
Yeah, he does. He's like, that grilled cheese was hot. It's like,
and they said it didn't taste good either.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's the only time they do that throughout this whole clip episode.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. What'd you think?
Number 3 for me, I like it a lot. Big K&B guy, especially early K&B before, like you said, they had them in every 3 or 4 episodes. I don't know, it's funny. The grilled cheese with the blowtorch is just, like, cool. I think this is one of the early episodes as well, so maybe nostalgia for me is playing a role. But it's funny, and I like these guys.
Simple enough.
All right. Jordan.
Top 2.
Number 2. Wow.
We've made it.
We've made it, and
almost.
I think we're gonna have the same top 2 here, seemingly.
No, I think
no.
I've got one much lower left. So
Hey, I'm mistaken. Jordan, number 2 for me is the wood-smelling sock.
That is my number 1.
Whoa! All right. Well, number 1 for you. I'll defer.
Okay, so. Before even, we started this podcast, this is one of those scenes that I just remember. Mm-hmm. I always remember, and I've always enjoyed it. It's got everything that Jordan would like. Mm-hmm. It's got Al, being
proficient.
Cocky. Yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. We've got a funny, stinky fungus little thing that goes on, trying to throw Al off, even though he has a cold, all that type of stuff. And then just the pratfall of throwing it on Tim's foot and all that happens there. I just really enjoy this, and it's something that's always stuck in my head even before we started the podcast. So I got to put it number 1 for me.
Yeah, number 2, obviously I like it a lot as well.
Right.
This is one of the few times that I think Tim gets the best of Al. It's a Tim prank that actually works and is sort of clever, and it sort of heightens. You start first chunk of wood, second chunk, and then you see the sock on, and it's very satisfying when it finally pays off. And he says something about fungus and throws it. It's just really funny. And I think if you were trying to show someone, I don't know why you would necessarily, but if you're trying to show someone tips of Tool or clips of Tool time, this would be a good one to show because like you said, it sort of does capture the essence of the show.
Absolutely, yeah. It's obviously one of our favorites. There's just to give a little preview. There's a scene similar to this that I love. That's in part 2. Okay. So we'll be talking about that more later. All but right. Tell me your number 1 moment.
Jordan, my number 1. I can't believe this isn't your number 1. I want a new co-host. I think.
In fact, it's number 8. You can go to some of the other other podcasts out there that are home improvement related and get one of them. I guess.
Lord knows there are more than there need to be.
All right, so talk to me about this scene.
Number 1 for me, Jordan, is Rock Let's Roll. K&B boys, they're in a band. They're playing with Janine Heller, who plays the saw. It's they play basically the whole song. The Tool Time set goes wild. Tim and Al use measuring sticks like guitars. There are suits on the side, just really rocking out. Pete gets a solo. It's a good song. It makes me very happy.
You're juiced.
It's long.
I can tell.
I'm juiced. I'm psyched. I love this clip.
You love it.
How could you not have this in your top 3? Seriously.
It is number 8 for me.
What? It's Tepid Taylor?
I hate music.
Well, you probably like jazz or something. You and Woody Allen love jazz.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
it's so fun.
I don't know. It was kind of boring to me, and it's very long. Obviously, you enjoyed the length was a positive for you. The length was not a positive for me. I don't know. It's fine. They're playing music. Tim and Al really go off, which I guess is interesting, but I didn't like it that much. Those aren't my favorite types or parts of the show. That kind of stuff. So I don't know.
You're gonna get a lot of angry letters from listeners.
Hate mail.
Yeah, I would perhaps consider moving because the amount of angry letters you're going to receive is going to be overwhelming. I should have
put this at number 14 to really.
Oh man, I cannot
get your goat.
The whole time since yesterday when I came up with this idea, I thought we'll definitely both have this number 1. That's a no-brainer. Oh, wow, I'm shocked. I'm this podcast probably has never shocked me before. Nothing shocking has ever happened. But I am absolutely bamboozled by
2017, 2018 have been really shocking years, and I would say this moment is probably number one on that list.
I tell you, this is when we do a clip show, this reveal is going to be one of our clips because, oh man, I mean,
if people were thinking that, they're just going to compare lists ahead of time and they're not going to do this live.
Well, that would require a certain level of preparation that we just don't have.
We don't have that kind of time.
Preparation
or effort.
H and Pepsid HI. Jordan, that's a fitting way to end our first ranking here.
I don't even know if you can handle the rest of this episode. You sound like you're in shambles.
I'm in shambles. And we will be running through the remainder of our rankings next week. You said there's 12?
Yeah, well, there was 26 total. We did, what? 14, so yeah, we got 12 left. There's a little bit of a story left in part 2, as I alluded to. What'd you say?
I said I'm excited, Jordan.
Oh, you're excited.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you're in a roller coaster of emotions right now.
I don't think we need to do highs and lows, do you?
No, that whole episode was
highs and lows. Fair enough. But let's just repeat them again, in case people.
Just in case you didn't get enough.
Missed our opinion. Jordan, let's roll into social media.
Let's do it. Sean's social media corner. If you want to reach out to us, let us know your favorite clips out of these clips. Send me some hate mail. I'm totally fine with that. You can do so. Our website is thehomeimpodcast.com. You can go to facebook.com/homeimpodcast. On Twitter, we're at homeimpodcast. Again, if you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/homeimpodcast. Support for as little as $1 a month. If you're more into giving just a one-time gift, we accept those too. They're on our website. We have a support tab. So again, thehomeimpodcast.com. Adam, is there anything going on Twitter since we last talked?
Not a lot, Jordan. And to say that there is would be, a
lie. We don't do that.
But I'll tell you what's been happening. So last week's episode came out on July 4th. So I think my tweets sort of reflected that I was busy doing other things. Poll, 11 total votes. What's your favorite thing about the 4th of July? 0% said weather. 0% said beer, 36% said fireworks, 64% said food.
Ooh, we're a nation obsessed with food.
But not beer, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bunch of sober listeners,
I'm surprised.
I
guess. Fireworks, that's what July 4th is kind of known for.
I thought
fireworks and freedom.
Yeah, well, I should have put freedom. I don't know. Just with the way our nation's going right now, Jordan, I don't know. I just don't want to get involved in that kind of a dialogue. Jordan, at Max Passa, he shared a list of his top 10 episodes, and I'm not going to go through them, but I think this was in response to Austin Hancock's question a few weeks ago. I'll say his number 1 is Don't Tell Mama. What is that? I know we covered it. What happens in that one? Do you remember it?
I'm assuming there is some sort of
I'm looking it up right now.
Secret, I would imagine.
Don't tell Mama.
Secret.
I guess I have to type in Home Improvement with it because I got.
Yeah, there's some other stuff that's popping up.
I got a cabaret performance coming up.
The first thing that comes up is Daily Motion.
Don't
videos.
Tell Mama is when.
The car.
Oh, the car. That is a good one.
The car gets scratched.
No, he drops the entire He dropped the car is demolished.
You know what's funny? On the thing on the side here, it says he nearly totals it himself.
Well, he does. He
definitely crushes it with the beam.
Yeah, he nearly totals it himself. Otherwise, at TrueBrandon32, he shared something with us on Twitter.
One of my favorite followers, I will say.
Yeah, he's a good follower, good guy. He shared a photo of 2 soccer players, and Jordan, you might be caught up in this soccer thing more than I am.
Sure.
And it says, remember Randy and Brad from Home Improvement? It's a photo of 2 soccer players compared to a photo side by side.
Yeah, they're from Croatia.
Okay, it's from Croatia. It's Brad with the ponytail, and there is a resemblance. It's a pretty good tweet, and it has 2.3 thousand retweets. So hey, getting that Home Improvement brand out there. The last thing I'll highlight is a photo that I doctored of Patricia Richardson. She did something on Reddit, and she wrote, Ask Me Anything or whatever.
I thought this was real.
And I changed it to Home Podcast Rules. Well, so did my mom. And she texted me this. She never listens to the show. She really doesn't acknowledge it very often.
But she does follow the Twitter religiously.
I had no idea. She's like, I saw the picture of Patricia Richardson, pretty cool. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, sorry, Mom, it's not real. But thanks for the well wishes. How about an iTunes review? No. So apparently it is fooling people. It's not real. I wish it was. probably pretty impressed by my ability to doctor photos like this.
That's I mean, I'd like to know what software you
Isolate, enhance. And that's all I have to say about Twitter.
Did you see, speaking of Patricia Richardson, I was just scrolling through her Twitter today looking for possible tidbits that we could talk about to open the show.
She doesn't tweet about things that we can talk about in the show very often.
Not very often, but she did talk about her thoughts of what she thought a Home Improvement reboot would look like.
Oh, really? No, I didn't see this. Share it with me.
Well, she said that it would actually start with Tim and Jill having gotten divorced. And the plot of the show would be working to get them together.
It's not a bad idea, Jordan, but...
Then she also said it was an allegory for the country to heal.
That's entirely less surprising for her to have said that. Yes, allegorical, definitely. Yeah, that's what we talked about...
we talked about last episode.
Yeah, we did that camera just last week. It's an interesting idea. I think it's a little bit... That would be a tough sell, just because.
I just don't believe it.
Yeah, it's taking the one thing that people like, the relationship, and then sort of removing it, and I don't know, that would be.
I just can't imagine what would have broken them up, because we've seen so many episodes where Tim just basically is a buffoon and does stupid stuff, and she still stays with him. So I don't know.
It would have to have been something really bad. It'd be like doing a Friends reboot and having them in Cincinnati or something. You know, you're taking the characters out of
Cincinnati.
It's an integral part of the show. I just don't know how that would work. Friends Cincinnati is a spec script I'm working on.
That one's going to be a Netflix original.
Joey, he gets a job doing the pregame stuff for the Reds.
They go to that Cheers restaurant at the airport that I love so much.
Chandler works for Kroger. That's where their headquarters are.
Oh, that would be good.
Jordan, that's it. Do you have anything about Facebook you want to talk about?
No, I did share on there that we were listed in an article of the top June podcasts, new finds that what was it called? Podcastdelivery.com, I think.
Yeah, we should have the right name for that, because it is kind of it's a real honor.
It was a real honor. I believe it was podcastdelivery.com, and I'm going to confirm it right now.
Yeah, let's confirm that, Jordan, so that we can,
Yeah, the Twitter handle is @podcastdelivery. So the article here is Podcast Delivery Roundup, June 2018. This publication is kind of a newsletter where every week or so, every month or so, it looks like they will list 10 podcasts that people should be listening to. And we came in at number 4 on the list, so they had a nice photo of Tim Allen in his mugshot in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
We refuse to acknowledge that because we do want to get him on the show at some point. So
yeah, but yeah, they talked about how we're worth a listen, and we certainly agree.
Yeah, and we appreciate the thought as well. So yeah, I think we've retweeted that. So obviously, just the wins just keep on coming here on Home Impodcast, Jordan.
Win after win after win.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that podcast delivery. We are appreciative.
We are. And with that, Adam, normally this is the time that we have a question of the week.
This is not a normal week, Jordan.
This is not. This is a different week. So we're going to skip it these next couple of weeks. People will learn much more about us in the weeks to come. So.
Yeah, and I mean, this is everybody's favorite segment, so I am sorry that we're skipping out on it. But
I mean, we do usually leave it till the end of the episode because we know it's what brings listeners back and gets them through the episode.
Well, Jordan, are you familiar with the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder?
I am, and let's do it right now. That's why I miss you so much all the time.
Yeah, right back at you, pal. Listeners, thank you for listening to our rankings. More to come next week as we look at Tool Time After Dark Part 2, I guess, or for you, Jordan, Part 1. Yeah, thank you for listening. Jordan, thank you for joining me. Take care, everybody.
Take care.